Kickoff in Austin's just around the corner, and these are my game-by-game predictions for the Texas Longhorns this season. Hello, everyone. I'm Chris Phillips of SEC Unfiltered. Appreciate each and every single one of you tuning in. As always, make sure you like, subscribe, turn on notifications. Check us out via podcast, where we get your podcasts. You can also find us across all social media platforms, as well as our website, secunfiltered.com. And as always, we are powered by our friends over at FANDUEL. Visit FANDUEL.com/SECU to join today and get started with $250 in bonus bets when you win your first $5 bet. Once again, that's FANDUEL.com/SECU to get $250 in bonus bets today. After back-to-back years of making the Final Four of the college football playoff, all sights are set on bringing a national championship home to Austin. Also, the Arch Manning era begins. The long-awaited day is finally here. It's going to be an exciting 2025 season, and these are my game-by-game predictions for the Texas Longhorns in the upcoming season. Guys, first things first, let's take a look at what our friends over at FanDuel has to say. FanDuel.com/SECU to place your bets today. They've got the over-under win total on Texas set at 9.5. The over 9.5 at -178. The under 9.5 at +144. So majority of the money does believe that Texas is going to hit double-digit wins this season, which would all but assure them, let's just say would assure them, a spot in the college football playoff once again. Guys, with that being said, without further ado, let's pull up Texas's schedule, and these are officially my game-by-game predictions for the Texas Longhorns in the 2025 season, starting with a massive season opening game, a game that yours truly will be at. The 2025 SEC Unfiltered Football Tour begins in Columbus, Ohio, at the Shoe as Texas and Ohio State get set to do battle in a college football playoff rematch from a season ago. Our preview on this game is already out, so I won't spend tons of time on it. If you want to go see the full breakdown, make sure you go check that out. Many of you have probably already seen my prediction. This is going to be a fun one. Arch Manning, Julian Sayin, new eras beginning for both. So many new faces, both sides replacing a ton. I've got Ohio State beating Texas. Here's why. Yes, Ohio State replaces their quarterback in Julian Sayin. I don't love the optics as much as I love Arch Manning, and I think he's going to be a fantastic player. Brand new quarterback, brand new offensive line. Going into a hostile environment against what I still think is going to be a really, really good defense. I don't like the optics of that in game one. I think it's a coin flip. I think it could go either way. Here's the good news. Your college football playoff hopes are not like on the line in week one. You got some wiggle room. You just need to get to 10 wins. I don't think this is one of them. I think it could be, and my goodness, I hope I'm wrong. Lord, I don't want to walk out of that stadium after watching Ohio State get the dub. But I got to call it as I see it right now. I think Ohio State has a little more than Texas, outlast them on the home field. It's a field goal game, but right now I'm siding with Ohio State. And here's the guarantee I have of this game. There's going to be an overreaction on Arch Manning one way or the other. People are going to be singing his praises because he plays so well and say he's a lock for the Heisman, or people are going to be questioning. I mean, I can't wait. The casuals are going to be out and about saying, should he even be starting? Like, what did we overhype Arch Manning? It's one game with a bunch of new pieces. Let's exert some patience. Give the kid some time. Here's the good news after Ohio State, after you drop to 0-1, assuming you do. You got the next 3 games to work out the kinks, right? San Jose State in week 2, no big deal. That's a dub. Again, all of these games are for you to, lick your wounds from week 1, for Arch Manning to build confidence, for the offense, the offensive line to gel, to really get things going. The defensive side, obviously, do their thing and dominate. And you're going to dominate in the next 3. You're going to beat San Jose State. You're going to beat UTEP. You're going to beat Sam Houston. And none of these games are going to be close. But that's exactly what you need. You get yourself to 3-1 as you go into the bye week and reset, because you got 8 straight SEC games on the horizon. It starts at Florida in the Swamp. This is going to be one of the sexiest upset picks of the 2025 college football season. You watch. There's going to be a lot of people, especially if Florida gets off to a good start, that are taking the Gators. Heck, my guy Cole the Bear Thompson, he's taking Florida in this football game. That said, I am going Texas. I still just trust Texas right now more than I trust what Florida is going to roll out there. I think at this point, Arch Manning is going to have supreme confidence. He is going to be clicking. That offensive line is really going to start gelling. They better, too, because Florida's got a really good defensive front. Texas's defense is going to be the storyline in this game. I think they dominate DJ Lagway and company. I think they're going to make life really, really tough on that Florida offense to move the football at all. I like Texas, and it's a sneaky game. It's a tough game now. It's a tough game going to Gainesville, but I know this is why Texas fans were so excited to join the league to have road trips like this. Texas will be fired up to go in the swamp. I think they will get the win, open up SEC play with a dub, most importantly, and their fourth straight win to move to 4-1. Then you've got Red River. Now, this one could be really interesting because there's a chance Oklahoma starts 5-0. And if you're facing a 5-0 Oklahoma team, folks, all bets are off. All bets are off. And I don't have to remind anybody about the history of this rivalry or which way this game could go. I mean, we've seen Oklahoma win this game a lot. We also saw last year, Texas beat the absolute dog shit out of Oklahoma. What was it, 34-0? 34-3? Something like that. Uncompetitive. Wasn't close. I think Oklahoma is going to be much improved this year. I think Oklahoma is going to challenge for the college football playoff. I don't think Oklahoma is going to beat Texas. I just, until I see it, I don't think Oklahoma's got the dogs up front to go up against this Texas front seven and win enough of those battles to win the football game. It will have to be because I think of self-inflicted errors that Texas were to make. I don't see them making that many. I really, really don't. And I just don't trust that Oklahoma is going to be able to block Texas, Colin Simmons, Anthony Hill. I don't think they're going to be able to hold their own against those guys for 4 consecutive quarters. It'll be a better game than last year. There's no doubt about that. It will be a better game. But Oklahoma, they improved a lot. They didn't make up a 34-point gap from a season ago. So I think you win Red River. I think you get your 5th straight win. You move to 5-1. Then you go to Lexington, Kentucky to take on the Wildcats. I will not spend a lot of time on this game because you're going to beat the ever-living crap out of Kentucky. You move to 6-1. Then you go to Mississippi State. Listen, I think Mississippi State's going to beat somebody this year. I think they're going to get somebody. They're going to upset someone. I don't think it's going to be Texas. I don't. So I got you moving to, what would that be? 7-1. 7-1. I don't think State's got the firepower to hang with you. Then you host the Vanderbilt Commodores. Diego Pavia and company are going to come to town. It'll be a fun one. I'm sure Diego will have some really fun comments ahead of the game. But Vandy, as many improvements as they've made, I think they're salty on defense. I love Eli Stowers at tight end. Cedric Alexander, a lot of Texas fans know who that is. Being from the state of Texas, he's a quality back. And Diego Pavia is an electric factor. He's super fun to watch. I still just don't think in the trenches they're going to have the bodies they need to hang with Texas, kind of similar to last year's game. So I think Texas, I think they win this game as well. And I've got you moving to 8-1 going into the bye week. And now here comes the big one. 8-1. Go in the bye week. You're feeling pretty good about yourself. You've won 8 straight games. Now you got to travel to Athens to take on the Georgia Bulldogs. And I need not remind any of you, a team that beat Texas twice a season ago, both in the regular season and the SEC title. I can't wait for this one, number one. This is going to be an incredible game. Athens, Georgia is going to be absolutely electric. Guys, in case you didn't realize this, Georgia, they ain't lost a home game at Sanford since 2019. My bold prediction is they are going to lose one. They are. I just don't think it's going to be this one. I think Georgia beats Texas. I think it's one of those things. We love to say, like, Georgia's got a Bama problem. Texas might have a Georgia problem, guys. They very well might. I think Georgia is very underrated from the standpoint. They don't have some of the star power that like a Texas has, but they've got enough talent. This is one of the few teams on the schedule, because I do believe Texas is an elite team. This is one of the few teams on the schedule that can go toe-to-toe with Texas and punch them in the face. And I think that's what will happen. I think Georgia will punch Texas in the face just like they did last year. I think it is going to be an absolute brawl in the trenches. And I think the Dogs at home again. I got them losing to Alabama early in the season at home. They ain't losing multiple games at home. I do like you're coming off the bye week. That obviously helps. But I need Sark and company to prove it to me that they've solved this riddle that is Kirby Smart and the Georgia Bulldogs before I pick it. Tough game at Sanford Stadium. It's going to be a classic. But I do think you drop your second game of the season and your first SEC game. Now, that's key here, right? Only one SEC loss to this point. You fall to 8-2, but just one SEC loss on the docket. The following week, guys, you host the Arkansas Razorbacks. I got you beating Arkansas. Is Sam Pittman even the coach at this point? Who knows? I don't think he makes it through the year, or I don't think he at least makes it in the next season. Is he still the coach? We'll see. I think Taylon Green is a really, really fun player, but Arkansas was a far better team last year, and they couldn't beat you then. So I certainly don't see it now, especially being in Austin. And guys, finally, you close out the season with that home showdown against Texas A&M, the Lone Star Showdown, to be more specific. The Aggies come to Austin, Texas, first time since what? I guess it'd be 2010 was the last time this game happened. And I like Texas A&M's roster a lot. I mean, there's a lot to like about it, especially if Marcel Reed takes the next step. The offensive line, I think it's an offensive line, maybe can hold their own against that Texas front seven. But then again, I say that. We look at what happened last year. Why did Texas win that football game, folks? They dominated the trenches. I'll never forget sitting in that end zone where Mike Elko inexplicably run up the gut. You get to 4th and goal. You run it up the gut again, and you get stopped again. And the Texas defense, I mean, just that was the story of that football game, right? I like the additions A&M has made. I really do. I think they will be improved. I do. I ain't picking Texas to lose this football game. I tell you that right now. I ain't doing it. I think Texas, and this, think about what will be on the line for them in this game too. Sitting at 9-2, one conference loss. I do think SEC title game implications will be on the line in this game for Texas. With all those things at stake, and I think the Longhorns just top to bottom are a better football team. And I think at this point too, by the way, Arch Manning is going to be clicking on all cylinders. Like I think he's going to be playing really, really good football. I do think Texas will be able to run the football against that A&M defensive front. And I think Texas wins the rivalry game showdown yet again. And I think they cap off their season at 10-2 overall, 7-1 in conference play, though, which I think is the more important number here, because via my predictions, I do have Texas getting back to Atlanta for the SEC championship, taking on the Alabama Crimson Tide. So the good news is you don't play Georgia again. The bad news is right now I'd take Alabama to beat you, but I've got Texas in the college football playoff. I've got Texas getting a double-digit wins. I've got Texas getting back to the SEC title. This would probably mean another home playoff game in Austin, which who's complaining about that, right? So anyways, 10-2, 7-1 in conference. Guys, certainly you could flip that Ohio State game. The Georgia game, you potentially could flip it. Here's the thing. Nobody's going undefeated, in my opinion. I think everyone is going to lose a football game. That includes Texas. So could this team go 11-1? Absolutely. I don't think 12-0 is in the cards. I will say this, though. If, and I don't think it's happening, but if there's a team in this conference that could go 12-0, I think it'd probably be Texas. Because I think the schedule still, you notice I didn't talk about it easy. Schedule's not easy anymore, but it's still a pretty workable schedule, if we're being totally honest. It's a workable schedule, which no Texas fan should be apologizing for that. Who gives a damn? Like, you got to go out there and actually win the games. Give Texas credit. They go out there and they win the game. So I got 10-2 overall, 7-1 in conference play. I got Texas in the SEC title. I've got Texas in the college football playoff. I love the over 9.5. I'm a believer in that defense. I'm a believer in Arch Manning. Can't wait to get to Columbus and see this football team in person. And hopefully I'm dead wrong about that pick, but it's a big ask for a new quarterback, and he is new. It's a big ask for Arch Manning and a brand new offensive line, but we shall see. Fingers crossed. Either way, I got the Longhorns 10-2, 7-1 in SEC play. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? How do you see Texas faring in the upcoming 2025 college football season? Guys, that's going to do it for me. Appreciate each and every single one of you tuning in. Before we get out of here, I do want to tell you about our friends over at FanDuel, because as always, we are brought to you by our friends at FanDuel. On Tuesday, August 26th, it's FanDuel Futures Day, a new holiday for football fans. It's 24 hours of deals on all of your football season predictions. So take a flyer on the MVP race, whether you think it's going to be Josh Allen, Jaden Daniels, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes. Crown your champion in August. Maybe you think it's going to be the Texans, the Cowboys, the Eagles, the Chiefs, the Bengals, whoever it might be, or parlay your division winner dark horses. Mark your calendars. This is your day for your hunches, your hot takes, your calls, and your odds. Visit the FanDuel app today and start planning your futures bets now, because Futures Day is one day and one day only. Make sure you sign up over at FanDuel.com/SECU. That's FanDuel.com/SECU. FanDuel, play your game. Guys, that's going to do all for me. Appreciate each and every single one of you tuning in. As always, make sure you like, subscribe, turn on notifications. Check us out via podcast, where you get your podcast. You can also find us across all social media platforms, as well as our website, secunfiltered.com. Till next time, I'm Chris Phillips of SEC Unfiltered. Appreciate each and every single one of you tuning in, and we'll see you all in Columbus, Ohio.